Basic or FHA SFR Appraising Handbook 4000.1, page 24. 2. Origination through post-closing / endorsement. B. Appraiser and property requirements for Title II forward and reverse mortgages. 3. Acceptable appraisal reporting forms and protocols. 4. Site conditions. A. Access to property. 1. Definition. Adequate vehicular access to property refers to all weather, road, surface over which emergency and typical passenger vehicles can pass at all times. 2. Required analysis and reporting. The appraiser must notify the mortgagee of the deficiency of NPR or NPS if the property does not have safe pedestrian access and adequate vehicular access from a public street or private street that is protected by a permanent recorded easement, ownership interest, or is owned and maintained by an HOA. Shared driveways that are not part of an HOA must also meet these requirements. The appraiser must know whether there is safe pedestrian access and adequate vehicular access to the site and analyze any effect on value on marketability. The appraiser must report evidence of permanent easement. The appraiser must ask if a maintenance agreement exists and comment on the condition of the private road or lane. B. On-site hazards and nuisances. 1. Definition. On-site hazards and nuisances refer to conditions that may endanger the health and safety of the occupants or the structural integrity or marketability of the property. 2. Standard. The appraiser must report the presence of all on-site hazards and nuisances so that the mortgagee can determine the eligibility and any corrective work that may be necessary to mitigate potential adverse effects from the special conditions. 3. Required analysis and reporting. The appraiser must know and comment on all on-site hazards and nuisances affecting the property. The appraiser must also provide photographs of potential problems or issues to assist mortgagee in understanding the problem. Special site conditions include rock formations, unstable soils or slopes, high ground water levels, springs, and any other conditions that may have a negative effect on the value. Page 25. New and proposed construction. The appraiser must report any special conditions that may exist or arise during construction and necessitate precautionary or hazard mitigation measures. C. Topography. The appraiser must notify the mortgagee of the deficiency of NPR or NPS if surface and subsurface water is not diverted from the dwelling to ensure positive drainage away from the foundation. The appraiser must make the appraisal subject to an inspection by a qualified individual or entity if the purchase contract or any other documentation indicates, or if the appraiser observes dampness because of a foundation issue. The appraiser must report to the mortgagee any danger due to topographic conditions, for instance, earth and mudslides from adjoining properties, falling rocks and avalanches to the subject property or adjoining land. D. Grading and drainage. Extra note. Red flag. Retaining the water on site, water ponding on the yard. The appraiser must check for readily observable evidence of grading and drainage problems. Property drainage control measures may include gutters and downspouts, or appropriate grading or landscaping to divert the flow of water away from foundation. The appraiser must make the appraisal subject to repair if the grading does not provide positive drainage away from the improvements. The appraiser must note any readily observable evidence of standing water adjacent to the foundation that indicates improper drainage. The appraiser must report this in the site section of the report if the standing water is problematic. E. Suitability of soil. The appraiser must consider the readily observable soil and subsoil conditions of the site, including the type and permeability of the soil, the depth of the water table, surface drainage conditions, compaction, rock formations, and other physical features that affect the value of the site or its suitability for development or support of existing improvements. The appraiser should also consider events and publish reports regarding the instability of the soil and surface support of the land as related to the subject and proximate properties. The appraiser must analyze and report how this would affect the property.